like all our performances, it's a relaxed performance. What that means for you is that the lighting state should stay exactly the same as this. So we have been experiencing some problems with the hotel lights, but these two lights will always stay on, we'll never go to full blackout. We also don't expect there to be any sudden loud noises during the performance, but there will be music for atmospheric purposes. And we have a relaxed attitude towards sound engagement from the audience, for the benefit of those who cannot be still or silent for a full hour. On that note, if at any point you do feel like you need to take a break, you can just use the doors at the back. And to the right there's a seated area, you're free to use that, and we'll welcome you back in at any point in the hour if you do decide you need to take a break. Also we have Johnny here today, who is signing for us for this hour, who's doing beer sound. I'm Naomi, if you need anything, I'll be right over there. Just give me a wave or come over if you need any help or any assistance at any point. I do have hearing loop headsets available, so if that's something you need, can I get that from you now? Other than that, I'm going to pass over to Leo, who is our GM for today.
Hello, hi, welcome to Adventurers Wanted. I'm Leo, I'm the Games Master until 10 o'clock. What is this? What's going on? This is a tabletop role-playing game, which means that the lovely people on my right and left here have individual, unique characters that they play in a fantasy setting. As the Games Master, I play the fantasy setting, the allies that they make, the enemies they fight, and the riptides that pull them underneath the water on occasion. The players tell me how they would like to interact with the world, and I tell them how the world interacts back, and we use dice to mediate and try and keep things semblance of fair, although sometimes it doesn't work out that way. So, we have 195 hours of backstory. So I won't catch you up on everything right now, but a very short summation. The players' characters are members of the crew of the Spirit of the Horizon, a scientific research vessel, which on their last official mission got themselves teleported to a world completely brand new that they had no idea about, and they've been trying to get back home ever since, trying to recreate the spell that sent them here ever since. This has meant travelling the world, trying to find pieces of a magic tablet so that they could read the spell back. In the last little arc, they heard rumours where one of these pieces of tablets could be found, and the rumours said that it was in the belly of a dragon turtle, this ginormous turtle, called Kelanahu, and they went hunting for it, along with Prince Corellian of Staghorn, and 9 of his compatriots, making a party of 14 to travel down into the depths and retake the forge of Staghorn, which was his birthright. They fought sharks and shark creatures along the way, as well as cultists and a kraken hatchling, and they're now pretty sure that there's a kraken about somewhere. And we'll see where the story goes from there. The very last thing that happened, though, is that they found themselves in a brief respite, having reached the very centre of the forge that they've been fighting to retake. Before we jump back in, let's meet our players and their characters. So starting on my far right there, tell us your name, your character's name, and a little bit about the character. What would distinguish them from the rest of the crew?
Hi, I'm James, and my character is Lyrian Tannister, a halfling rogue who serves as the chief librarian and scroll keeper aboard the ship. He's also a fierce drunk, and he doesn't like to fight, but when the situation calls for it and he's dragged into it, he has been known to kill an occasional creature, albeit with some reluctance.
My character is Lawrence von Crowsworth.
Cool.
I'm a janitor who's done a little bit of fighting in the pits, so he knows how to handle himself when it comes to
Awesome. Okay.
I'm Johnny. I'm playing Alistair Vondercont, a dwarven bard. He's a ship's scribe, and he's a singer of songs, a teller of tales, and a lover of beautiful women. Just in facts, guys.
I am playing Curiso, who is a medical examiner, likes to probe a few bodies, kind of doing a bit of scientific
Sorry, I didn't quite catch it. Was it Curacao or Clarissa?
No, it's Curacao.
Curacao. Oh, cool. And what was your class there, your species
I
and class?
am a rogue halfling.
Okay, fantastic. Right, so, Alistair, as you sit way back in Coralia on the Spirit of the Horizon, the familiar gold spark crawls across your skin. You know what's about to happen, and you are teleported to wherever the land party is. However, Lawrence and Curacao, neither of you have ever experienced this before. This is the first time for both of you, and you've heard stories about it happening to the rest of the crew. A weird teleportation sort of after effect from the spell that you cast to bring you to this world has been swapping, very conveniently, members of the land party and people on the ship. And a small gold spark crawls up your arm. You get a taste in your mouth as if you've been sucking a penny, a strange metallic taste, and then it gets very bright all of a sudden, and you've been teleported into this beautiful sort of cavern with forges all around that have been switched off. It's mostly underwater, although it has started to drain as you watch it. A device has been placed in one of the forges to pump out the water. But most startlingly, across the wall of these forges is just this massive vein of coral that is jutting into the cavern itself. It's really quite breathtaking. But what was Lawrence doing the moment before he was teleported into this predicament?
I was taking the bins out.
He was taking the bins out. Luckily,
The air escape.
right, okay. Luckily, the rubbish didn't come with you.
No.
That's not how the teleportation magic works. But you do sort of cringe for a moment as you think about all that, those bags hitting the floor as nobody else is around to hold them. What about you, Curacao? What were you doing the moment before you were teleported in?
Tending to sick crew member.
Okay, fantastic. What was up with them? Were they just
It had these strange kind of boils appearing.
Oh, I see.
Pretty serious stuff.
Yeah. That's oh dear.
Something to look forward to when you get back.
Yeah, exactly.
If the crewman's still
A respite. So, Lyrian, the rest of your party suddenly get this gold energy that you've seen a couple of times now, and suddenly almost entirely replaced.
Yeah.
As the three of you who have joined this area look around, you see that there are 7 Sariki with you who remain. Sariki, they look a little bit like dwarves, but their hair is flecked with this coral-like pink, and occasionally their skin gives way to scales along the way. What? Oh, yeah, and one of them is very obviously in charge. I don't know, Alistair, did you meet Prince Corellian? No. Oh, you'll love him.
Okay.
Don't worry, he's a character. Yeah. What would you like to do?
Not too sure what's going on, everybody.
Well, you see the giant orca whale-looking thing down in the cavern.
Oh,
Um,
yes. There it is.
Yes, our dragonborn sorcerer, despite my valiant efforts to convince him otherwise, shot it with a harpoon and forced us all into a combat situation.
Oh, why did
Where-
you do that?
Because he's an idiot.
Ah,
He was a dragonborn moron,
okay.
and of course he dragged us all into the fight. A few of our party members almost died,
Okay.
but
Nothing new there.
well, and in the end I was forced to intervene as they were all going to die, so I shot it in the face.
Okay.
At this point, the prince, the one that's obviously wearing the finer clothes, and underneath his armor you can see he's still wearing his silks that he would wear probably for dinner. Goes, right, I feel rested. What is everybody ready? Come on, let's go, let's get on with it.
Hello, I don't think we've had the pleasure of meeting.
Oh God, there's 3 new people.
Yes.
3 new people. Oh, you better. Well, I'll introduce myself. I am Prince Corellian of the Staghorn, which is where you stand. I'm king of this place, and we're here to reclaim it from a kraken.
Oh, okay.
Or a dragon turtle, depending on what's through that door.
Well, okay, lead the way then, Corellian.
Yes? You're all ready for the fight? There's nothing you want to do?
I'm pretty used to just going with the flow, to be honest.
Excellent! That's what I like to hear! What about yourself, Lyrian?
I make sure that my comrades have coral weaponry and studded armor that is part of the hoard that the orca was guarding.
Absolutely. Everybody should have.
Also, harpoon gun each.
Everybody should have a harpoon gun and a +3 weapon now. So your regular weapon is upgraded to a +3 weapon, Alistair. It should be a +2 at the moment, so that just means you get a +1 on top of whatever you've got there. I think I've already added that on for you. We'll just come around here. The harpoon guns, you find. Yeah, so that should be 7. The harpoon guns that you have, they are a standard dexterity sort of ranged attack, but they do a d12 plus your dexterity modifier. So he hands you over these beautiful sort of... The coral has been folded and pressed so much. What do you use? A longsword, Lawrence?
I do.
And he hands you this longsword, which, as you turn it in the light ever so slightly, you see flickers of green and pink, and you can tell it's been made from coral, and it's incredibly light and balanced, but it looks like steel. And you could these weapons are just scattered throughout the cavern.
This is nice.
Right. So, who's going in first? Is it me? Am I going in first? I'd happily go in first.
Yes.
All right. I want the 4 of you behind me. You're the most capable fighters here.
Oh, really?
At which point you see all his sort of royal guard go, this is not fair. But that's what he said. And he goes up to this small door on the far end of the cavern and throws it open. On the other side of the room, you see... Well, actually, roll perception checks for me, everybody. Yes, so you roll the d20, and then you've got your skills bank here. You've got perception.
9.
15?
7.
7. Did you add your perception modifier? Just in your skills bank there?
8.
8, okay. Okay, none of you can see much. There's this beautiful gleam that comes from the room, a change in the light, but there's something wrong.
I have blind sense, which lets me hear any invisible creature within 10 feet. So is there an invisible creature within 10 feet?
Do you? Within 10 feet of you?
Any hidden or invisible creature within 10 feet of the door as I stand on the threshold.
Okay, you are not aware of any hidden or invisible creatures within 10 feet of you. What you do see is a mass of tentacles.
So it's not hidden.
It's not hidden. It's not trying to hide. It's not trying to hide from you at all. Can I get some combat music, please, Naomi?
Is it asleep?
Is it asleep? No.
Have we woken it? Is it friendly?
Is it friendly? You can try talking
the
to it.
music suggests otherwise.
Why don't you try talking to it? Don't let the music.
Creature?
Yes.
Ooh, that's disconcerting.
We are...
And by the way, you hear that in your head. That's not a sound that comes out.
We are adventurers here trying to reclaim a piece of a tablet so we can make our way home. Could you possibly let us through it, please?
Is this tablet part of my hoard?
I don't think so. I think it's being held by another.
You have wandered into the wrong place, adventurer. Or should I say, brunch. And then it attacks you. So, Lyrian, you do get to work. You get to attack, but it's actually Curisso first. Is there anything in particular you would like to do, Curisso? So what you see, you stand on the threshold. You've got these Sariki have charged into this throne room, and your librarian friend, who'd actually, the two of you would probably be on very good terms, considering your backstories.
We drunk together.
Yeah, there you go. You research together. It doesn't look like you drink together. It looks like you drink in her presence.
Yes,
by the look
I
from
drink
that
while she
glance.
operates on someone.
And in this room, you can't really tell what's in there. It's just full of tentacles at the moment.
I'm going to use a sneak attack.
Okay, sure. Roll your attack roll. So that's the D20 again. And then you add the attack modifier. You see the attacks box halfway down the page there? Yeah, you got it. With a short bow. Okay.
So yeah.
Now you are underwater at this point. You can use your harpoon gun, yeah, if you want. Use the harpoon gun instead. Yeah, sure, no worries. What did you get? 22. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, that will hit. That will definitely hit. So roll your damage, which is the D12. Now this is very rare. No, it's up there. It's very rare because the D12 is a bit of a joke in this game that nobody uses it for anything. It does. Yeah. A 6 plus your dex modifier. So a 10. Oh, so 9.
Yeah.
Cool. 9. So you let. Do you want to describe the attack for us?
It is swift, stealthy, and deadly.
Okay. Cool. Well, it's not that deadly, but yeah.
It takes one of the tentacles off.
Before Lyrian is attacked, you just bring up the harpoon gun. Nobody ever saw it coming, and just fire it from the hip, and it straight into one of the tentacles, and an ooze of black just starts coming out from the tentacle. Hasn't taken it quite off yet, but it's certainly done a dent. Lyrian, that would bring us to you.
Very well, then I'll. Since the Sariki are also attacking it, I should be able to use a sneak attack since its intentions are elsewhere.
Absolutely.
So I will attack it with the harpoon gun also.
Okay, fantastic. Oh, you were going to do a sneak attack as well. You didn't roll the sneak attack damage, but we'll do that next time because that's big and long. Johnny, could you just walk her through that for a minute?
So I attack with the harpoon gun and
Yep.
get a 13.
30, 3-0.
Yes.
Strangely enough, that hits. That'll do it.
So I'm aiming for its eye.
Okay, you can't see its eye at the moment.
Ah.
All you can see is just this room is full of tentacles at the moment.
And then
Everywhere.
and then this one. So 7 times.
Yeah. Which is why you've got harpoon gun.
Can I have another D6? Could I have your D6?
Do you know the one? This is the exciting part where everybody counts dice.
That hit is a 47 damage.
47.
Rogues. Go on.
So you raise the harpoon gun and you just try and figure out a trajectory that might hit its eye somewhere. You release the trigger and suddenly there's a in your head as the tentacles all spasm with pain, and they're coming for you because it didn't like that.
Well, with my cunning action, then I will hide.
You can
At the end of my turn. I assume behind.
You can really
door
attempt to
frame.
do that. Roll a stealth check for me.
That will be a 29.
Okay. It knows where you are.
Does it?
Yes. Cool. Just so you're aware. Right. At this point, Corellian has been screaming through the rebreathers that you're all wearing. Rah! He's coming forward to make an attack with his trident, which he raises in the air and misses. So, here he is, faced with the demon of his ancestry, and he misses. Just completely. Johnny, what are you going to do for us? Alistair.
I'm gonna cast.
Oh no, sorry, it's Lawrence.
I will
Lawrence
wait
first. Yeah, I apologise. Lawrence, what are you going to do for us?
After Corellian misses,
Yep.
sheath my longsword.
Absolutely.
Single hand. So, and then I just basically just lunge towards him and then go for a draw.
Sure. These are more passive things,
Oh, okay.
so they're not active
Is that
abilities.
included
but
on here?
it's included in these bits here.
Oh, okay.
The remarkable effort is included.
Okay, well I unsheath my sword.
Yep.
And I go straight in for attack.
Absolutely.
One of the tentacles.
Roll attack roll for me. It will be at disadvantage because it's a longsword underwater, so you've got that
Yeah.
water drag to
Yeah,
work
that's-
against, which means you have to roll this twice
18.
and take the lowest number. 15 plus 26 will hit. Absolutely. Roll your damage for me, which is this D8 here. Plus 7, 13. Which is very respectable. Don't let the rogue tell you anything else.
It's not quite.
See what you've done? You've set up false expectations. Right. Now it's Alistair.
I'm gonna cast
Hold monster, yeah.
Yes.
Go on then.
Uh,
This is my least favourite spell. It just it paralyzes all my beasties and they can't do anything. Go on.
what do I do?
I need to make a rolling wisdom saving throw against what?
16.
Okay. I roll a 28.
That'll do it.
Yep, I think you will, won't it?
And in that case, I will send some inspiration Lyrian's way. In the form of a verse of poetry.
Okay, Bard, take it away.
Lyrian Tannister, neither doctor nor barrister, but librarian, fusty and shrewd. But Lyrian, dear Lyrian, I speak from experience. Be careful we don't get sued.
Yes, that's excellent. Thanks, Johnny. Take it, a D10 inspiration, which means that whenever you roll a skill or an attack, you don't think it's going to be enough, you can add an extra D10 onto the roll.
Oh, okay.
But you get it one use sometime in the next 10 minutes.
Okay.
Okay? 10 minutes game time, not 10 minutes real world time. That'd be unfair. Okay, at this point, it's the Kraken's turn. So, I have so many options in this. It's at the end of Alistair's turn, it whips its tentacle forward and grabs Lyrian. Rolling not very well at all. 21.
That hits me.
Yep. Just to scare the crap out of you all, I rolled a 21 on a 3 there. So 21 hits, yeah?
Yeah, 21 hits.
That'll do. I'm enjoying this immensely. That's cocked. 7, 8. 18 bludgeoning damage.
I've got uncanny dodge and evasion.
Okay, uncanny dodge is the one you'll use. Evasion is for area of effect
Area
spells.
of effect, okay.
Yeah. So you fail. Sorry, you reduce this damage to 9
Yep.
from 18, and you are considered grappled.
Right.
On its turn, it is going to fire out these lightning bolts from its tentacles, striking Alistair, Lyrian, and Corellian.
Don't I still have lightning resistance from earlier?
I don't know, do you?
I think so.
You still from what?
A few hours ago.
I wasn't GMing them. From what? No, because
No.
you've had a long rest. No, there you go. Cool. So you're all going to take 4d10 lightning damage.
So that
Yes, except that the damage is going to be doubled because you are all currently considered vulnerable to lightning. 28, I rolled incredibly well. 36, so you take 36 points of lightning damage, as does Corellian. Alistair, you are going to take 72 points of lightning damage.
Wow.
As does Corellian. As this lightning bolt just fires out from the tentacle, striking Alistair in the chest, wiping the smug grin after that verse off of his face. No, I loved it. Okay, everybody scared yet? So, Curacao, I think it's your turn now.
Well, I too was going to use an uncanny dodge.
Okay, well, you use uncanny dodge when you get hit by things.
But I've just been hit by lightning.
No, you haven't,
Oh,
because
no,
I can
haven't,
only
right,
target
it's
3
fine.
people. So it targeted the prince. The prince got scarred with. Do you want me to kill them? The prince got scarred immediately. I'll kill them in a minute, okay? Give me a second. And as did Alistair and Lyrian, but you yourself didn't get hit. Lyrian, you're on deck. Be thinking for me, yeah? You're next.
Yeah.
Be thinking for me.
Trying to use connection.
So this mass of tentacles just arrives.
I'm going to aim for an eye,
Okay.
and then cunning action hand.
Roll stealth check for me.
That's the D20.
18.
Plus lots.
Plus lots.
That would be 12. So 30.
Fails. It knows where you are. So this won't be a sneak attack.
What about evasion?
Evasion again is for when you get hit by things.
Oh,
Halves damage.
Damage left over.
Yes. Okay. I'll let you have a sneak attack this time because I let Lyrian have one this time. But this the last time.
the D12.
But surely since it's engaged another that one fighting with
Yeah, that's true sight.
fighting the sword.
Yeah, that's true sight. You're in water.
So she rolled 12 and 12, and I have to roll 7 of those.
12 on the d12 plus 7, I presume. So 19
And then
plus whatever you've
plus 3 again.
got coming.
18.
18. So 37. Amazing. That is a lot of damage. And you said you were aiming for an eye. You release this arrow, and it soars through the water, seemingly unhindered by the drag, and it just and there's another spurt of black blood. You don't know what you've hit, but you hit something important.
Excellent.
And it looks like it didn't enjoy that. It writhes again with pain. Lyrian, you're currently grappled by one of the tentacles.
So what does that mean? Can I not do some of my? I'll try and break the grapple then, as opposed to the run off.
Yeah, okay, that'll be your action. Are you using acrobatics or athletics?
Oh, I'll use acrobatics. That's surprising.
Yeah.
That makes it a 19.
19 is more or less just enough to get out. So you just squiggle through. In fact, why don't you describe to us like how you get out of this tentacle?
I sort of duck and weave my way around just as it sort of loosens it slightly, so it can tighten its grip even further. I seize my chances.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just
Swim away towards a crack in the wall.
awesome, fantastic. A crack in the wall.
A crack.
No puns intended.
Well,
Um,
well,
That'll be your action.
doorway.
Yeah, okay, back towards the door.
Yeah. I want to use my cunning action to dash back behind, because I'm a coward. I'm not afraid to run. Cowards often survive. So I'm gonna use my cunning action to dash straight back and sort of hide behind the door edge. Since we've opened the doors, I'll hide behind the door so it can't see me, can't reach me.
Absolutely. At the end of your turn, it's going to. Oh, I forgot to give it a layer action. Oh well. It's oh, I don't get to do that yet, do I? That's fine. It's fine. At the end of your turn, it's going to attack Lawrence with a legendary action because it's allowed to do that.
It's fine. It's not at me. It's fine.
So that's 27 to hit Lawrence. Does that hit you?
No, that's your armor.
So this is against your armor. So yes, it would do. And that's 18 points of damage against that. 18, yeah. And you're considered grappled. Okay. It's now Corellian's turn, and he dives in after you, trying to save you with his trident from this grapple. He crits. He manages to use his trident in such a way that it actually sticks into one of the suckers on this tentacle, and dealing a horrific amount of damage. We're going to see how much. Not that much. Oh, plus. Okay. Sorry, my guys. 9 plus. Cool. Thank you very much. Lawrence, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
So, whilst I'm grappled, I can still maybe pull out my crossbow.
Mm-hmm.
What I was going to say is, when the lightning went off, everything blew up.
Yes.
So I was looking.
Okay.
As the lightning hit, do I need to roll perception?
Yeah, roll perception for me. Yeah, why not? The D20 here. 21, in fact. So you rolled 21. So as the lightning lit up the chamber that you're in, you can see that this is actually an antechamber to a throne room. You're not in the throne room. And all you can see is the tentacles squeezing out of the corridor. And you can just sort of see the top of a shell in the other room.
So could I see like where these tentacles are coming through? Can I see like under where the shell meets the beginning of the tentacle? Maybe like see between the shell and the tentacle.
You could certainly try, yeah.
So I need another perception.
No.
Just aim for that.
You know it's there now,
Yeah.
so you can definitely aim.
So I'm gonna try and aim for like the gap in the shell and where the tentacle.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
The soft underside.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I need to.
So you roll your D20, and you've got
Using the light. Yeah.
this attack modifier here.
20.
And because you're a fighter, that's actually a critical hit. Because you critical hit on both a 19 and 20. Because of this ability
Yes, I
here.
do.
Yeah, nice. Which means that you get to roll twice as many dice for the attacks. So where it says 1d8, you actually get to roll that twice and then add 6. That's alright. Oh no. I'm not gonna lie, Ash, that wasn't.
We didn't.
I'm grappled, so.
Yeah,
It's
okay,
quite
yeah.
hard, you know,
You were being tossed around and you tried to let off this crossbow bolt and it doesn't go where you wanted it to. It goes into the shell, cracking it ever so slightly, but not a lot. Yeah, you stay grappled, you're still grappled, and that's exciting for me. Alistair, it's your turn.
I am going to cast Prismatic Spray.
What? Okay.
I'm going to go for. Does it affect allies as well?
Yes,
Oh.
because you're a bard.
Maybe I'll rein it in.
I'm hidden behind the door. I'm not
Who
in
is
the
in
chamber.
front?
Corellian, Lawrence, I think that's it, and a couple of the other Sariki.
Can I
It
sort
would
of,
definitely hit Corellian and Lawrence.
can I go round and try and strike just the creature?
It's a very big creature, but you're in a very enclosed space.
that case, I will do something else. And that something else will be frickin' Hold monster again. That's,
Hey, if it ain't broke. I rolled a 29.
yep.
So once again, you reach out with your magical energy. You're willing the Kraken's muscles to freeze up, and it just goes
Inside her.
in your head. That's your turn.
And I'm gonna. Can I use my movement to hide as much as I can?
Yeah, you can. Roll a stealth check for me.
Gonna see me. It's all the rogues. And I rolled a critical fail.
Wow.
Alistair, I'm not sure you've ever hidden before, have you? You're not-
Far
you-
too flamboyant.
Far too flamboyant. And you duck behind a door like you've seen your rogue allies do before, but you're floating and you forget your hat. And it's just the hat above the door. There we go.
Can I use my bonus as well to take one of my healing potions?
Yes, you actually only have one healing potion now at this level. At 14th level, everybody has one supreme healing potion, which will do 10d4 plus 20,
10d4 plus 20.
which you're welcome to roll as I move on. Okay. So
So what was that?
one supreme healing potion, and that'll do 10d4 plus 20 hit points back if you drink it.
But I still have my two superiors from earlier, don't I?
Okay. Well, that's if that's what the GM said earlier, then that's fine. Why not? 10d4.
I'm rolling 40 10. That's very good.
Yeah, it is. It's not that different actually. It's just the averages are much smaller. Right. So at this point, it's going to use Lightning Storm again, and this time it's going to cast one bolt at you, one bolt at you, and one bolt at Carillion. Can I get Dexterity saving throws from the rogues, please? Oh, you're a fighter. Yeah, but you can use evasion and use Dexterity saving throw, please. D20, and you see. So 19. Critical fail.
Rogues get to roll again.
Oh
don't
no.
they? Rogues get halfling luck. Oh,
yeah,
are you a halfling?
Yeah.
If it's
Yeah,
critical
you get to
failure,
roll.
yes, you get to roll that again because you're a halfling. We're at quite a high level now, and there's lots of rules going on. Sorry, guys.
What you got this time?
15's much better. Have you added your saving throw modifier? So next to your skills bank there's a box to the right of it that says saving throws. Dexterity.
What's around 8 or 9?
Plus 4.
No. It's in the saving throw there.
Oh, saving throw plus 9.
Plus 9, there we go. So 24, which is enough. So you only take half damage. Unless you use evasion, which you can now use evasion on this, in which case you can stop all of this damage entirely. It's up to you.
Is that going to be my turn? quickly?
No, this is just a
Alright,
reaction
I'll
to being
use-
hit.
Yeah, I'll use that.
But you can only use it once per turn, as it were.
That's fine. I'll save it now.
Okay, fantastic. In which case you take no damage from this whatsoever, whereas Lawrence, you take 22 lightning damage. Yep, take that from your hit points as a bolt of energy, lightning energy, strikes you in the chest, emanating from this creature, and that's all its legendary actions this round, I believe. Alistair, we've just had your turn. Now it's the monster's turn. Lawrence, it's going to bite you. It drags you into the other chamber in its tentacle, and it rolls a 30, which I presume will hit you.
So
No, it's the modifiers, mate.
Oh.
You, I don't think you can roll. I think you're just swallowed whole, mate. So it takes you in its tentacle, and as it drags you underneath its shell, you see its beak opening wide, and it just... And suddenly you are cascading down this esophagus, and you land in a puddle of acid somewhere very dark.
That's okay. won't take any lightning damage. You'll take acid damage, but you can start hacking away from.
It's a lot of acid damage. So that is back at the top of the round. Curacao, it's your turn. Thank you. We always knew this combat was going to be long.
When Lawrence is swallowed,
Yep.
does he maybe perhaps drop the crossbow?
I don't know, Lawrence. Do you maybe perhaps drop the crossbow,
I
or do you
do.
definitely hold on to it?
I dropped the crossbow, which is the inside long range, isn't it?
That's fine. So
Is it that, or is it just that you're panicking?
It happened so quickly.
Yeah, it did. Sorry, go on. So he's dropped his crossbow.
can I do sort of a running jump kind of to where the crossbow is and then
Yes. Have you not got a crossbow?
Sorry, you tossed it to me. Did you say?
you're closer than I am.
Oh,
Kimbo.
to the creature.
What are you thinking? I don't think your party mates are up on what you're thinking.
I'm hidden behind the door through which
But
everyone else has gone.
I'm thinking. Oh right.
You could chuck it to the doorway, and on my turn I'll nip out and grab it and shoot it. But I'll probably just use the harpoon gun anyway. So probably best using it yourself.
That'll do.
Okay. I mean, it's up to you. You can do what you
yeah,
want.
he drops it. I'll take it. And I'm going to shoot.
Okay, cool. With this, is this with the crossbow or the harpoon gun?
No, the crossbow.
Crossbow. Okay, roll your attack then. And we're gonna call it loaded because I've just remembered that I've forgotten that you were supposed to have 3 attacks.
Hit
Sorry about
is
that.
not on.
Listen, there's a lot going on. No, it's so you've got extra attacks.
6 plus 2 plus
Oh, you can do 6.
I can do 6 attacks.
You can.
Yeah, do that when you're inside
Yes,
it,
I'm inside now.
so you can hack its stomach from.
17 will not hit. So you let this crossbow bolt go, and it just off of the wall. Somehow you didn't manage to get one of the tentacles that's filling this corridor up. Anything else?
No, I retreat.
You retreat again? That's fair enough. Lyrian, it's your turn.
I will nip out from behind and sort of
Hiding point?
Well, it's not a hiding point. It's a coward's vantage point.
Sure.
It's in the next room across.
Yep.
So I will nip out from there, take aim with the harpoon gun, fire it towards the place where I saw my comrade Lawrence be brought towards by the giant tentacle.
Sure. Roll your attack roll.
That is a 32, or not 20, right?
Yeah, well, that's a critical then. Oh my god, that's a critical. And it's a sneak attack.
And it's a sneak attack. Rogues!
So, yeah, I mean, you might as well roll the damage. How many d6 do you need?
So, do I get a double attack?
Yeah.
Is it double attack if it's crit? So I'll get 17d6.
17.
No, sorry,
2d12.
14.
2d12 plus 14. Well, there is 3 of mine.
So I'm up to 10.
10. Well, we'll just roll those 10. Oh, no, okay.
Hooray!
There we
I won't
go.
need to roll again.
14.
And it's 2d12.
2d12.
2d12. Can I get your d12?
This is...
Maths, kids.
This is one of the largest. Oh my lord! This is one of the largest dice rolls we've done. I'm not going to distract him. I was got new legendary actions, so I could just retroactively do a legendary action, couldn't I?
Yeah.
While he's counting up. I could, couldn't I? So I'm going to do a tentacle attack against Alistair. Yeah. Well, he's eaten him.
It's nearly done.
He's in the other room. These two are here.
The damage roll plus, I've got a plus 7 at the moment. Is that doubled also to 14?
No, that's not
That's
double.
still just a 7.
That's a 7.
Well, that makes the damage a 58 then.
58. Right, there is an interesting point of rules here because in order to get Lawrence out of its stomach, you have to deal a certain threshold of damage and then it has to save to see whether it throws up or not. you've actually just dealt in one attack twice that threshold. So do I roll once or do I roll twice for that? I'll roll twice. Why not? Constitution saving
Those
throw.
guys will need their dice money, so stick them in.
Throws him up, man. That one's mine.
And then I'll nip back round the door to where I was hiding before. Should I take a healing potion?
Are those yours?
No, I'm alright. I'm alright.
You've got the two black
Less
ones.
than half health, but I'm alright.
Is there a purple greeny one?
Yeah, I passed it over.
Oh, it's that one. My mistake. Well, where are these black ones coming from? I was going to say. For heaven's sake. Anyway, so you deal so much damage that you watch as it probably actually hasn't had that much time to swallow even. This harpoon bolt strikes it in the center of its chest. Its cavity, it's whatever it is, it's thorax, and it just belches, and you get this horrendous acid sort of feel coming into the room. But Lawrence comes out as well, covered in acid.
Yeah, I'm gonna, yeah.
And at that point, because you've done so much damage to it, it retreats.
Oh, what? Can I not?
And the tentacles retreat from this room very slowly. They all creep back, leaving the doorway to the throne room proper, where it has made its lair. And you just hear a whisper going, "Come face me properly."
I reply, "You come back here and we'll finish things."
Why would it do that? I fought for my life to take this place from the Regina. They were very tasty. I am not giving it up for the sake of these meaty morsels. And it does not return.
So it's gone, we can't.
It's in a you're in a corridor, and Corellian just turns to you and goes, "Right, we've got it on the run. Let's go and get it." But as he talks, you can see there's a massive scar up his face where the lightning struck him, and he's not looking great, to be honest.
Can the bard cast?
Perhaps just give the men a moment.
A moment?
Yes, just to rest up.
I've never needed a moment to rest in my life.
Obviously you haven't, but the rest of us, we're all very tired.
Very well, weaklings. Let's go back to the forge. We can have a moment to rest if that's what you want.
Is that a short rest then?
It would be considered a short rest, yeah, which means you can use your hit die to restore some of your hit points. So you've got 14d10. You'd have 14d8, I think. So you can use roll as many of those as you want to restore your hit points. So you use it's like the double pyramid, that one there.
So yeah, it's 14 d10s that you have. Is that d10?
The Kraken also gets a short rest.
Unless we chase it.
You're not chasing it.
We're not.
You're taking a short rest. Let's see. It has 27 d20 hit die. Should we just call that full health? Sorry, go on.
That's okay.
I was gonna say, like, well, resting, but he pulled me into the main chamber and then puked me out, unless he puked me out the farthest.
Yeah, he
I'm still
did.
in the main-
He puked you into that same corridor.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah, you're not within combat range. He's retreated into his lair, unless you want to follow in on your own, which you're quite welcome to do. Yeah, you've got 1 minute to kill this thing. No, and as the characters, as our heroes rest up, try and lick their wounds, and consider perhaps maybe better tactics for approaching this underwater beastie, that is where we're going to end this hour of Adventurers Wanted. Thank you very much, guys, for coming to watch. I'm going to hand back over to Naomi, our stage manager, to do the outro for us quickly.
Alright guys, thanks so much for coming to our 196th hour.
Thanks for playing as well.
And thank you for playing. If you want to come up and play, it is £5 from the box office downstairs on the Sleep website. If you want to come back and watch, obviously it's £3 from the box office, or if you want to pre-book, they
Hello, stream.
Hi, Steve. So if you can't come back to Edinburgh or can't come back to us for any reason, you're welcome to catch up there. Well, I'm just going to pass over. Do our ticket guys? Do you have anything to plug? Are you in any shows up here?
No.
No. All right. So Johnny then. Johnny's going to plug something very fast.
Hello, I am in a puppet musical where I play a badger. It's about a little girl dealing with grief, but it's really funny. And it is on at venue 13 every day at midday, and it's really good. And it's, yeah.
Do you want to plug your brother's show as well?
Oh yeah. Also, my brother who directed this show is in another show called The Tale of the Cockatrice. It's another puppet show about sort of traditional mythology and things.
Cool. Thank you very much. We do have a really fast turnaround, so I'm going to have to ask everyone to leave 3 minutes they come through by. But before I do, can we give these guys another round of applause, please?
Yeah, thanks very much, guys.
Yeah, we do hope to see you again, but if you don't, have a lovely rest of your day. Have a lovely fringe. You can go and enjoy that. Thank you.
Thanks very much for playing. I hope that
Are
wasn't
you coming
too
back?
many rules. You've come in at a really high level.
It was fun.
It's-
Pretty intense.